There has been no more controversial pitch preparation in the history of Anglo-Australian Test matches than the one for this opening test of the series here at the Gabba. There were suggestions that the pitch itself was a mud heap, that the game wouldn't go the full distance, and that the curator, the Lord Mayor of Brisbane, Alderman Clem Jones, was wrong in his method of preparation. Well, Ian Chappell didn't think too much of those suggestions when he went out to toss today, because after he won from Mike Deness, he had no hesitation after rather a cursory inspection of the pitch in batting first.
Hendrick to Wally Edwards. And this is high in the air. It's Amos under it, and Amos has caught it. Wally Edwards out, caught by Amos down at fine leg. Oh, bowled him. Oh, yorked. Redpath bowled Willis for 5. Redpath bowled Willis for 5, and Australia are 2 for 10.
And back past the bowler, that might be the first 4. It's going out towards the boundary. Nicely timed by Greg Chappell, and that's it. First boundary. Now it's Greg to Ian Chappell. And Ian's hit that down to the boundary. 4 runs. Short ball, he got right inside it.
Greg to Ian Chappell. And hooked high down to Lever, but over his head. This could be 6. Yes. Lever with this long run from the southern end. And pulled just back at a square leg, past Hendrick for 4. 4 to Greg Chappell. And Greg Chappell finding the gap. Underwood chasing. There'll be at least 2 here. In fact, it beats him to the fence. That's the view from extra cover of Greg Chappell. And he stretched to reach that one, but it'll be 4. Chappell 46 and hit through the covers, probably 4. Yes, Dennis chasing, it'll beat him. There's Greg Chappell's 50. Greg Chappell 51.
See there that Lever takes something over 40 paces to go back. Obviously, when he's running to bowl, they're not their longest strides, but about 40 to go back to his bowling mark.
And about 20 coming in to bowl to Ian Chappell. And driven off the back foot. Wide of Deness, this will be 4. And that's nicely hit too. Ian Chappell 4. Caught it slip by Fletcher. Greg Chappell caught Fletcher. Bowled Underwood 58. Greg Chappell caught Fletcher. Bowled Underwood 58. 3 for 110.
And a sweep shot, and it's going down towards the boundary. And yes, down to the fence for 4. Didn't get onto it all that properly, but still it's 4 runs. And back down the ground. Beautiful shot from Ian Chappell. That's one of the best forward strokes played all day. And into the fence it goes for 4 more. And down towards the fine leg boundary. It's a chase across here for Underwood. He may just get to it. He does. Right in front of our broadcasting point, and they come back for 2. And there's a good throw from Underwood. But that's the 50 to Ian Chappell. 50 in 176 minutes. He's hit that. It's just wide of the fieldsman in the covers. That was Edridge. It's going out towards the boundary. It's slowing down. They've taken 2. They'll probably run 3. Here's the return coming in from Lever. A fair bit of dust flying about. It's a very strong, gusty sou'wester coming across from about extra cover. He's hit that, and he's hooked it way out towards the boundary, and 4 runs. Good shot from Chappell. Magnificent shot. Well, that's the second one of that type he's played. The other one not quite as straight. He's hit that. That could be 4 again. Yes, moving into that one properly and sweeping it away hard. Backward square leg boundary. Chappell 68, and that's 150 up for Australia. 3 for 153. Leave it to Ian Chappell. And there's a run here. There's a chance of a run out. It's on and just missing the stumps. That could have been out. The fieldsman reacting there. A good throw by Dines. It didn't miss by much, but Edwards survives. Chappell 69, Edwards 12.
Underwood. And hit by Ross Edwards through the covers, wide of Amos, being chased by Dines. 2 runs now. Turning for 3. Three to Ross Edwards takes him to 15. And swung away by Chappell for 4. Just 4 to square leg. Ian Chappell 74, 3 for 164. Driven wide of Hendrick for another 4, on driven. That's Chappell's 10th 4. Ian Chappell 78, 3 for 168.
And in the air, it could be out here. It's underneath it. Is Greg? Greg's called for it, and he's out. Yes, Greg is very happy about that. Ian Chappell caught Greg Bowl-Willis for 90. Edwards is not out 29. There are 4 wickets for 197. There are 11 sundries, and the next batsman should be Walters. And Walters has hit that, going out towards the boundary. It might not be 4, it'll be close. The fieldsman's after it, he might just get to it. Yes, he's cut the 4 off, he's jumped the fence over there. Luckhurst coming in, and they'll take 3.
Australia have only lost 4 wickets with the 200 up.
He's hit that, he could be caught. Yes, he's out caught. So Walters has been caught at wide bit on by Lever. Willis is the bowler again. Walters out for 3. Edwards is not out 31. 5 for 202. Brilliant ball, that one, and must have gone very close. He's out. Yes, he is out. He must be caught behind. A long deliberation by the umpire.
The second day of the first Test match began in perfect weather conditions, with Australia 219 for 6. Marsh and Jenner the not-out batsmen, and the home side needed a solid partnership from that pair if they were to reach any kind of respectable total.
And he's got runs. Yes, it was in the air. Not a particularly good, well-played shot, but it's going to be 4 runs. It's going to be in the fence, the 4. Lever couldn't get it. He's hit up in the air. It could be out here. It's going to be safe, I think. He's getting on it. Lever. Great catch. He covered a lot of ground, and the ball hung in the air, so Jenner is out. Caught Lever. Bowled Willis for 12. Marsh not out, 13. 7 for 228. And Willis now has magnificent figures. 4 for 31. In the air now, here's underneath this one. Dennis is getting under it. He should be out and caught. Well caught again. Well, that was a fairly wild shot from Marsh. So Marsh is out. Caught Dennis. Bowled Hendrick for 14. Lilly has not scored. Walker is the new batsman. Australia 8 for 229. 2 big bowlers for Australia. Looking a little bit alike out there. You see that Lilly is a tall mop of hair and Walker's much the same physique. I think a bit broader than Lilly. Now an extra slip going into position. Willis to 3rd slip. And well driven by Lilly. That's going to be at least 1. That might be 4. It was well timed. It's a long chase for Underwood. He may just get to it. They've taken 2 and they're coming back for 3. And in the air and safe. It's going down towards the boundary. It could be 4. Yes, beating the fieldsman. And a chance dropped. Magnificent effort by Knott. He couldn't get to it. Now, but we'll say this, the ball passed between the keeper and 1st slip. He's hit that hard and high. It's going out towards the boundary, and I think that's going to be 4. Long chase for Dennis. I don't think he'll make it. No, the ball just reaching the fence. And Lilly on to 10, Walker 10. 8 for 249. And a good-looking shot from Walker. That's going out towards the boundary. It won't be 4. We have Lever running round. They'll make a comfortable 2. Lilly wants 3. They're going for 3. That returns on the way, and it's well run. .253 the total. Walker to 13. And in the air and safe over the head of Underwood. Down to the boundary it goes. It may slow down, but it's going on, and Underwood don't think he'll get it. No, it's going to be 4. And listen to that roar. It's like a football crowd. As Lilly goes up to 15, Walker 13, 257.
Greg looks as though he's shortened his run and might bowl cutters.
That's caught, is he? Let's see what happens here. He's out. Yes, he is out. So Lilly has caught Knott, bowled Greg for 15. Walker is not out, 13. 9 for 257. And Greg straight away has success off the very first ball he bowled. His figures 1 for 51.
But I would hazard a guess that when Tony Greig came to the batting crease, that he might be the recipient of 1 or 2 shorter pitch deliveries from Dennis Lilly.
Let's see what he'll do to Jeff Thompson. Of course, I mentioned that it was the first ball since he changed his run-up to Lilly, where he took that success. And let's see what this one is. And he's bowling to Australia's number 11, Thompson. And Thompson, like Lilly, in a sense, is making a test comeback, because he was brought into a test match at a very young age a couple of years back, and he played 1 test, I think it was, in Melbourne.
And just wide of Edridge, this will be 4. Four to Walker, takes him to 18. Greg now to Walker. And just turned down to fine leg. This will be 4. Wide of Amos. Oh, nicely driven, that's 4. Leave it to Thompson. And driven back past the bowler, long chase for Dines. Batsman turning for 2. And going for 3. A long throw from Dines, right back to the far end. So the field setting a little bit more defensive for the last 2 batsmen now. Leave it to Walker. And just tickled down to fine leg. This could be 4 more. Yes, 4 more.
That's Willis to Thompson. And that's a run going down. That's the 300 up for Australia. Australia 9 for 300. Thompson 19. Walker 36. A stand of 43 by these last 2 batsmen for Australia. .300 up in 4:91 minutes, and the 650 taking 79 minutes. And that's a great shot by Walker. That's 4. Chasing out towards the boundary, the long boundary out there. And run here, Dines is very deep. A shot at the stumps at the far end. He hit the stumps. Is he out? Yes, he's run out. Australia all out. A magnificent throw from Dines. Thompson run out 23, Walker not out 41, 12 sundries, Australia all out 309. England will be starting their first innings at exactly 2 o'clock local time, so the Australian last wicket pair batted for 10 minutes after lunch, a very fine stand of 52.
The 16,000 crowd happily watched the Australian tail wag and then settled back to watch the Australian fast bowlers perhaps repay some of the bounces given to them in the first innings on the first day. Dennis Lillee bowling the first over of the innings to Dennis Amos.
And through the slips for 4, it was almost a chance. It was no hand to it. I think the ball absolutely fell short of the fieldsman anyway, but that's the first score off the bat. This time he's walked, he's out. Brilliantly caught by Marsh. Luckhurst caught Marsh. Bowled Thompson for 2. And in the air, what's that? Is he out? He's out. Amos caught Jenner. Bowled Thompson for 7. Edrich is not out 1. England 2 for 10, exactly the same position as Australia, and Thompson has 2 for 4.
Lillee bowling to Edrich. Oh, very close to Redpath. Lillee to Edrich. Through the slips, just wide of Wally Edwards. 4 runs. Lillee bowling to Edrich. And that'll be 4 more. Wide of Gully, wide of Jenner. Walker bowling to Dines. And that's 4. Square cut for 4. Dines 6, Edrich 17. 2 sundries, 2 for 33. Field for LBW is given out without playing a shot. Dines, LBW to Walker. for 6. He didn't offer a shot at it. Dines LBW bowled Walker for 6. There's Fletcher's stance. And hit high over Slip's head. One bounce and over the fence. Fletcher 5, Edrich 21. 3 for 42. Thompson to Fletcher. And that's lofted on drive for 4. Well clear of Walters.
And they'll play it on, he's bowled. Fletcher bowled by Lilly for 17. Edrich not out 24. 4 for 57, and Lilly has 1 for 16.
And I think the storm signals are up. I think Lilly has intimated to Gregg what his intentions are. He did so when he was batting. And I think Lilly's a man of his word. He's back on his full run, I should say.
Lilly's calling players in. Redpath's being called into a very short backward leg. 3 slips in the gully, and Lilly, you can see how far it is, and he was in position before Gregg was halfway there. But the game really exciting now. The crowd really roared when that wicket fell. 4 for 57, and Lilly, his first ball to Gregg. Fall of wicket for England has been 9, 10, 33 and 57, and England now in a position where they want to stand. And he's caught. No, it's safe. Down through the field. It was in the air between second slip and gully at catching height, but let's say he placed it well. And Gregg, a good shot from Gregg. I'd say that was an over-pitched ball. He really moved into it, and that's 4 all the way from the time it went off the bat. And Gregg goes to 8 and a total to 66.
Thompson to Edrich. Runs here, no mid-off. Being chased by Ross Edwards from the covers. The batsmen completing their second run.
The third day of the first Test match at the Gabba began with Mike Dines using the heaviest possible roller on this unpredictable pitch. The pitch itself seemed to have lost quite a bit of the green tinge it had the day before and seemed likely to be considerably more in favour of the batsmen. The England not-out batsmen overnight were Tony Gregg and John Edrich. The England total was 114 for 4, a deficit of 195, and we join play now with Australian fast bowler Jeff Thompson bowling to Tony Gregg.
And uppishly but wide of Ross Edwards. I think this will be 4, although Walters is coming around the boundary very quickly, but it will just beat him.
See Lilly there with this new action after recovering from a serious back injury, and it's been a great performance by Lilly.
Bowling to Edrich. And nicely played by Edrich. Shot square on the offside. Wally Edwards chasing from third man. The batsman now back for 2. And getting 3 as he didn't pick the ball up cleanly there. So Edrich 46, and that means now he's passed 2,000 runs in tests against Australia. He needed 1 off that last shot, and that takes him to 2002. John Edrich in tests against Australia. Edrich 46, Gregg 42, 4 for 128. Lilly now to Gregg. And is he... no, dropped. Dropped by Jenner. Dropped by Jenner in the gully. And so a life for Gregg on 42, 4 for 128. And that was the last ball of Lilly's over. Applause for him. Thompson to Edrich. And he caught this time by Ian Chappell. Edrich is out. Caught by Ian Chappell. Lilly to Gregg. And that's 4. Well, Gregg picked the gap there. There's 3 men pretty well close together. Thompson bowling to Gregg. And down backward of point. Walters fielding. 1 run to Gregg. Brings up his 50. 9 sundries. 5 for 140. 1 man out deep on the leg side, out at square leg on the fence. That's Walters. Otherwise, a fairly orthodox field, with the exception that Thompson is a good deal finer than is usual for a leg spinner. And not helping that one away down to the fine leg fence. Past Lilly, square leg. Jenner to Knott. And cut between Ross Edwards and Thompson. It may beat Thompson to the fence. Yes, it will.
And he hit that one well. It's going down towards the boundary. Perfectly timed. That was a good shot from Gregg. And beautifully driven. Magnificent shot. I don't think the fieldsman, Greg Chappell's going to get to it. He won't. And Gregg on to 62.
Yes, it will be a day here at the Gabba too where the pace bowlers will tire very quickly because it's extremely hot. And Chappell is absolutely called upon to keep his faster bowlers operating in short spells.
And caught. Yes, he's caught. Not caught Jenner. Bowled Walker for 12. Gregg not out 62. 6 for 162. And that went straight to him. It was a firmly hit shot straight to Jenner in the gully. And that's the 6 wicket to 4. And short, yes, he's out. Caught by Ian Chappell. A chance there, straight to Ian Chappell, his second chance. And Lever caught Ian Chappell, bowled Walker for 4. Gregg is not out 64. 7 for 168. So Walker to Underwood. Well, that's a better one. That could be 4. It's going out towards the boundary. I don't think Edwards will get to it. He really threw his bat at that, and into the fence it goes, through the covers for 4. Well, there it goes. Good shot. It's wide of Redpath. It's a chase out towards the boundary. They've taken 2, and it won't, or will it be? Yes, it is 4.
Here's Thompson from the northern end bowling to Gregg. And sliced over, slips heads for 4, in fact, into the fence on the first bounce. Underwood on 12 to face Thompson. And that's 4 runs over the head of Ian Chappell at first slip. That brings up the 200. Australia's 200 came up in 318, which was about 40 minutes faster. Thompson to Underwood. And Edwards can't cut that off. There'll be more runs here. Turning for 2. And satisfied with that. Walker to Underwood. And cut for 4 by Underwood. I don't think there's anybody in this match who's caused the crowd to barrack more than Tony Gregg. They see him as the villain, and I imagine he's quite happy with that.
Yes, I think he cultivates it, and still it'll be interesting to see if both these players stay fit for the full 6 test matches, just what it will develop into.
Lilly bowling to Gregg. And that's 4. And look at Gregg now, signalling 4 for himself. Well, it was hit uppishly, let's say that. It was certainly in the air, but well clear of the 2 fieldsmen out there.
What a remarkable game this is developing into for the performances of the tail-end batsmen, as we call them. I know that they can bat a little, but it's been a remarkable game. We saw that magnificent recovery by the Australian tail enders, and now we're seeing Underwood, who is not a real batsman, doing a great job for England.
He's facing Walters, and he's on 25. And that's lofted and caught by Redpath. And so the partnership breaker is struck again. Walters' first ball, and if ever Ian Chappell wanted the partnership broken, that was it. Underwood caught Redpath, bowled Walters 25. Underwood caught Redpath in the covers, bowled Walters 25. Lilly bowling to Gregg. And nicely driven and past Max Walker for 4. Takes Gregg to 97. Lilly to Gregg. And that could be his 100. It's wide of Walters. Walters coming around very quickly, and he can't get to it. There's his 100. 2 successive 4s to take him from 93 to 101. Tony Gregg, 101 not out. England 8 for 234. Gregg, 101. His first century against Australia in Test cricket. And that's gone down to long on for 4. 1 bounce and over the fence. Gregg 106. 8 for 239. Walters to Gregg. And another one lofted over the covers. Gregg 110. Lee to Willis. And one hurt too. Lilly to Gregg. And that's over the head of Marsh. 4 byes. 4 byes. Really belted that one down. Sundry is 17, 8 for 248. We've had 61 runs since the new ball came on. Yeah, 61 runs in even time. In fact, just over 50 minutes since the new ball came on. Two runs, in fact. 8 for 248. Lilly bowling to Gregg. Hilper caught behind. He's out this time. Gregg caught Marsh. Bowled Lilly. 110. Gregg caught Marsh. Bowled Lilly. 110. So Lilly eventually got his wicket, but he had to wait a long time for it. And Gregg, who had scored so many runs behind the wicket on the offside, was eventually caught there. But once more, he had made 110 runs before it happened.
In the air, could be caught here, and he's out. Yes, it's all over. Redpath has taken the catch. Hendrick caught Redpath. Bowled to Walker for 4. Willis not out 13. England all out 265, 44 the difference.
Wally Edwards facing Willis. Oh, that was a nasty one. Hit him right on the side of the head. About the ear, I'd say, about the area of the right ear. Denness and Luckhurst and a couple of others having a look at it there. Willis to Wally Edwards. And then again he was hit, and that very nearly trickled back onto his stumps. Once again he didn't judge that shorter ball at all. Willis bowling to Wally Edwards. Is he caught? Yes, he's caught behind by Knott. Wally Edwards caught Knott, bowled Willis for 5. Wally Edwards caught Knott, bowled Willis for 5. Hendrick to Redpath. And cut for 4.
Underwood to Ian Chappell. There's something happening over in the hill area again beside the scoreboard. There's a whole hail of cans going around the place there now, and that's causing a roar in that direction, but play goes on here. And he's caught, yes, brilliantly caught, it slipped by Fletcher. A magnificent catch. And Ian Chappell called Fletcher, bowled Underwood for 11. Redpath not out, 21. Australia 2 for 39. Greg Chappell is a new batsman, and Underwood has 1 for none. And not a good shot from Chappell. That was in the air. He tried to force that one away on the offside out to Amos and the covers. Amos coming in again, the end of a remarkable over from Underwood. It was a maiden over. His figures 1 for none.
Australia struggled to 51 for 2 at stumps, an overall lead of only 95 with 8 wickets in hand. But they're not out batsmen Ian Redpath and Greg Chappell. And Redpath was the only wicket to fall in that first 2-hour session. He was beaten and bowled by a very good in-cutter from Bob Willis. Ross Edwards, the player who took his place, was just as tied down as Greg Chappell, the more experienced member of the partnership. And the 74 runs Australia made had to be very hard fought for.
It's Greg Chappell now facing up to Underwood. And he's hit that hard out towards the boundary. I don't think it'll be 4. They've taken 1 coming back for 2. Amos fielding there. And that's the 50 to Greg Chappell. His second 50 of the match. Greg Chappell is 50. Edwards 39. 8 sundries, 3 for 138. Greg bowling to Ross Edwards. Hit that over the head of square leg, a good shot. It's right over the head of the umpire, into the fence for 4. He's hit that one, it's going down towards the boundary again. 4 more. Edwards 48, Chappell 51, 3 for 148. To Ross Edwards. And the runs here might be his 50, he could get 2 for this. They've taken 1 coming back for the second. That's the 50 to Ross Edwards as Lever field. Ross Edwards 50, Greg Chappell 57. Greg to bowl to Greg Chappell. And he's hit that over the head of the square leg umpire. Out towards the boundary it goes. That was a bowl shot, that one. It was right off the middle stump, I should think. And he just laid into it. He goes on to 62. Ross Edwards is 50. 3 for 164.
Underwood into the breeze from the southern end, bowling to Chappell. And bowled him. Played over the top of it. And Chappell bowled Underwood for 71. Greg Chappell bowled Underwood for 71. Edwards is 50. 11 sundries, 4 for 173, the partnership worth 114 runs for the 4th wicket from the northern end. Bowling to Walters. And hooked away. And just beating Lever into the fence. Well, that's the bowler. that one into the ground, another 4. Willis to Edwards. And caught behind. One leaving the batsman, and Edwards caught not. Bowled Willis for 53. Edwards caught not. Bowled Willis for 53. Walters is 13, and it's 5 for 190 Australia in their second innings, the lead of 234. Willis now has 3 for 34. Willis to Walters. And that'll be 4, I think, being chased by Amos.
He's hit that hard and high. It's going out towards the boundary, and that should be 4. Well, we haven't seen a shot like that played against Underwood in this match, I don't think. He's hit that. It could be 6. Magnificent shot. Now bouncing over the fence on the first bounce, or hitting the fence on the first bounce. And Marsh has hit that, and it's firmly through the mid-wicket field. He just laid into it and into the fence before it goes, and that's the first 4 of Marsh. He's on to 11, 5 for 235 with Walters on 45. He's hit that one. Could be a 6. It's going very close to it. Could be 6. No, just bouncing over. And that, by the way, is the 50 partnership between these two. And this one's a good one. Where's it going? Luckhurst is underneath it. It is 6. Magnificent shot. Way over the top. And he's hooked that. A full shot. Now the nest, if it had moved the other way, might have caught that. Great shot from Marsh. Tremendous hit. And there's something on that one. Marsh to 34, Walters 60, 5 for 274. That's high over the head of cover. It's going down towards the fence. It's being chased out there by the nest. I don't think he'll get it. And into the fence it goes. 4 more to Marsh. Marsh is 38, Walters 60, 5 for 278.
Lever bowling without a slip. And hit straight back over the bowler's head. The side screen on the full. Get the side screen on the full.
Chappell's declaration left England 333 to make for victory with a day and 42 minutes to play, or it would have been that long if the roller hadn't broken down and if the full time had been given to the rolling of the pitch. In fact, it was only rolled for 4 minutes and the umpires had to call the groundsman back on to give it the full 7 minutes rolling. We join play now with the Australian opening bowlers in action, Thompson and Lilly.
Lilly to Amos. And that'll be 4. A full toss to square leg. Amos 4, and England are none for 4. Clouds building up to the south, but Amos batting well back inside his crease. Front foot just touching it. Thompson to Amos. The second time he's had to sway away hurriedly. Thompson bowling to Amos. Notice how Marsh had to leap to take that one. Amos just getting his bat away from it, and I think the umpires are going to talk again, and this might be a different story. I would say that they talk again, well, that might be that they'll go off, especially so soon after the time before. It's
play on.
This is an unusual situation because umpire Baylash has gone down to talk to Jeff Thompson and Ian Chappell going down
straight down there to see what's going on.
Whether he's been warned or not, I don't know, because there's no way that the umpire can tell a bowler what to bowl.
Certainly when he went back to Thompson, it wasn't the light they were talking about.
No, it mustn't have been the light at all. Certainly umpire Baylash has spoken to Thompson and spoken to Ian Chappell, and we can only assume that he's had one warning for short pitch deliveries.
Thompson to Amos. That was quick. And the end of Thompson's over. 2 off it. And England are none for 10.
Unusual incident then, because Thompson had bowled some 2 or 3, but we see the umpires now asking the batsmen whether they'd like to go off.
They will.
And the England batsmen agreeing very quickly. And I couldn't help but agree with the batsman's decision. The umpire asks you to go off in these circumstances, then you go.
The final day of the first Test match at the Gabba. Well, it began in perfect weather conditions, with England 10 for no wicket, Amos and Luckhurst, the not-out batsmen, and the pitch with a little tinge of green, and England facing an enormous task of needing to make 333 to win. They had very little chance of doing that. Only once in the history of Test cricket has England made over 300 to win a Test match. We join play now with Lilly bowling to Dennis Amos.
And sliced for 4 between second slip and gully. Walters picking it up. And that was where Redpath was moved from to go on the leg side. Amos now 13, none for 15. Luckhurst on 1. Amos facing Lilly. And the end of the over, but must have been quite close to the edge of the bat. Amos 13, Luckhurst 1, 1 sundry, none for 15, England in their second innings. And his runs to Luckhurst is wide of Ross Edwards. 2 runs. Luckhurst 3, none for 17. Amos on 13. Thompson bowling to Luckhurst. Lilly bowling to Luckhurst. And caught by Ian Chappell at first slip. Luckhurst caught Ian Chappell, bowled Lilly for 3. Luckhurst caught Ian Chappell at first slip, bowled Lilly for 3. England are 1 for 18 with Amos 14 not out, 1 sundry, and now Lilly has 1 for 13. And through Walters for 4. It was wide of Lilly. He bounced in front of Walters and he couldn't stop it. Edridge goes to 5, Amos 14, 1 for 23. Lilly to Amos. Thompson to Amos. And there'll be 1, maybe 2 here. Ross Edwards chasing, going back for their second. Amos 18, 1 for 29. Thompson to Amos. And that'll be 4 byes. High and wide to the fence.
Now, you see here a most unusual field. Edridge obviously is hampered and he can't play any forward attacking strokes. And every fieldsman bar one is behind the wicket, although we could count Redpath as just in front, but Edwards on the offside is the only man in front of the wicket. So there's the widest, probably, if we take it as a circle, 2/3 of this circle has no fieldsman. That's from forward square leg right round to cover. And bowled him. Edridge clean bowl by Thompson for 6. Amos not out 24, 7 sundries. England 2 for 40. Dennis is the new batsman, and Thompson 1 for 13. Thompson bowling to Dennis. That was a pretty vicious ball, that one. And his runs here, there's a third man, Walker, coming round. They've taken 1. They'll go back for 2. Dennis 2, Amos 24, 2 for 42. The batsman out, Luckhurst caught Ian Chappell, bowled Lilly 3. Edridge bowled Thompson 6. Good one from Thompson to end the over. His figures 6 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 15, 2 runs off the over, and the wicket of Edridge.
That last delivery was an absolute beauty. It was a good outswinger that started about middle stump, had Dennis coming forward, and he was very lucky not to get an edge. He was also equally lucky not to be bowled by it.
Chance, and he's out. Caught by Walters. That's much the same as Amos went out in the first innings. A rising ball. That time it went to Walters at third slip and not to Jenner in the gully. And Amos, a vital breakthrough for Australia. Caught Walters, bowled Thompson for 25. The Ness is not out 2. 3 for 44. And Thompson 2 for 15. Walker to the Ness. And runs here. That's a nice forcing shot off the back foot. It should be 4. Edwards has given up the chase. And Dennis on to 6. Fletcher 2. And that's the 50 up. And he's bowled him, has he? Or is he still there? No, the wicket is still there. He had a look to see if the bails were still there, because he's played the ball, in fact, behind his body and just missing the stumps and finishing up with Wally Edwards at short backward leg. And this is a run, possibly 2. It's a trace for Jenner. They've taken the first, coming back for the second. Fletcher on to 4, and the total moving to 56. Only 46 runs scored this morning in 100 minutes. Now there's some disturbance. I think it's the people on the balcony again, perhaps behind the sideboard, but all's right now. Again, a soaring ball from Thompson to end the over, and Thompson completes his 8th over, in which is some great deliveries, some wides, no balls, wickets, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 18. Well driven, that's going down to the boundary for 4, an over pitch ball. And Dennis moves on to 16 now. And down for 4 more, I'd say. It's going down to the third man boundary. There's nobody in the outfield. And Dines racing up to 20. Dines 20, Fletcher 5, 3 for 70. Edwards. Well, Dines apparently is determined to play shots.
Well, certainly this is the best way out of the England dilemma, I think, just to play the natural game.
And that one's through the field. That's going out towards the boundary. Edwards is very fast, won't reach it, and into the fence for 4. 3 for 76. And Dines has hit a few 4s now in his 24. Just to give you a number of those. 5 4s and 20. No, 4 4s. 4 and 24. Lily.
Thompson to Fletcher. And turned away backward of square leg. Just past Wally Edwards, beating him to the fence. And that was edged but not carrying to Ian Chappell. Went to him on the bounce. Thompson bowling to Fletcher. Thompson to bowl to Dines. Caught by Walters. Dines caught by Walters at third slip. Dines caught Walters, bowled Thompson, 27. Thompson bowling to Gregg. And he's off the mark. Might get 2. Edwards chasing. And the 2 to Gregg, taking the score to 4 for 94. And Jenner bowling to Fletcher. Fletcher on 19. Fielded by Lilly. And he's caught at second slip by Greg Chappell. It wasn't so long ago that the second slip was placed there. Chappell earlier was fielding at close extra cover, and Fletcher just getting an edge and being caught by Greg Chappell off the bowling of Jenner for 19. Fletcher caught Greg Chappell, bowled Jenner for 19. England are 5 for 94 with Greg on 2, and now Jenner has 1 for 7.
They're never quite certain just what the ball's going to do. It's only doing it occasionally, and of course from a batting point of view I think this is worse than anything else. If you're not sure you know you're going to get 5 balls will do the normal thing, and that odd one will suddenly do something, and this is what will worry any batsman.
Thompson bowling to Gregg. Oh, bowled him. Yorked him, leg stump. And the jubilation from the Australian team. Gregg bowled Thompson 2. And England now 6 for 94, having lost 3 wickets since lunch for 14 runs. Gregg bowled Thompson 2. Thompson now has 4 for 28. Not the other batsman yet to score. Last 3 wickets have fallen for 2 runs. England 6 for 94. Thompson bowling to Lever. And Lever agreeing with the crowd and the Australian players that was very close. Thompson bowling to Lever. Hill for LBW. That must have been close. Thompson to Lever. And this is just out of the reach of Lilly. Picked up by Wally Edwards. And 1 run to Lever.
I don't think any comment is necessary at this over. Just listen to the applause from this crowd for Jeff Thompson, who you see on your screen.
This one safely hit away down to fine leg. Walters coming round the boundary. Batsmen have 2. But 4 there to Lever takes him to 6. And it's 6 for 107. 6 for 106. Not 5. Lever 6. And Jenner now has bowled 6 overs, no maidens, and taken 1 for 16 with 5 off the over. Lever lofting this one straight and safely. And a long off for 4. Saw him attempt a couple of lofted shots off Jenner before, but that's the first time he's connected. Lever 13, 6 for 114. Lever facing Jenner. Jenner bowling to Lever. Pulled away through mid-wicket. 1 run as Walters comes round. Lever 14, 6 for 115 with not on 6. Not facing Jenner. So at the end of the over, 6 for 115, England.
3 hours left to go in the match. In actual fact, it's not quite 3 hours in time. It's more the time up till 5 o'clock here local time, with 15 overs to be bowled in the last hour, which could take us past the normal finishing time. The over rate for this match has been about 11 or 12, so it could be something like 6:20 if required. But still here, over 50 minutes to go before tea, and then a full session after that. And that's in the air, he's out. Caught by Redpath. Lever turning his back on the ball, so Lever caught Redpath, bowled Lilly for 14. Not out 6. England 7 for 115. Lily has 2 for 24. Jenna to Underwood. For England, Luckhurst was caught Ian Chappell, bowled Lily 3. Edrich bowled Thompson for 6. Amos caught Walters, bowled Thompson 25. Denness caught Walters, bowled Thompson 27. Fletcher caught Greg Chappell, bowled Jenna 19. Greg bowled Thompson 2. Lever caught Redpath, bowled Lily 14. And that's going down towards the boundary. There's no fieldsman within a long way of that. A long chase round for Walters, and into the fence for 4 it goes. Underwood goes on to 5, Not is 6. It's 7 wickets for 120. Well, the real destroyer so far for Australia has been Thompson. He has the magnificent figures, 4 for 30. Thompson 4 for 30, Lily 2 for 25, Walker none for 25, and Jenna 1 for 27. And there's the man of the moment, Jeff Thompson, who's been out of the attack for about 7 or 8 overs, may come back on soon. But here's Jenna first of all. And not a bad shot from Underwood. He waited for it, and he's got 4 more. That's a more authentic stroke than the last one. Into the fence it goes, and Underwood onto 9, Not 6, 7 for 124. And save over the head of the slips. It's going down towards the boundary. And it went right over the top. Perfectly safe shot. There was nowhere near any fieldsman too high for any of them. And Not goes to 10. Not 10, Underwood 13. And that means that England now are exactly 200 behind.
Just wondering about the wisdom of the field placement here. I think runs are of no consideration. I think virtually everybody could be round the bat.
Yes, it's deep in places, but Jenna bowling to Not. Well, that's going down to the fence for 4. It's a shorter ball outside the leg stump, a loose delivery from Jenna. And through the covers, a nicely timed shot. Chase for Wally Edwards. He may not reach this. Into the fence it goes for 4, and Not to 19. 7 for 143 with Underwood 15. It could be a catch. It's just short of Jenna. Hit him on the hand, and he's threw his gloves off. That must have hurt on his right hand. Well, off the hand, it therefore is a catch if it goes into the field, and it was bouncing short of the and wide of the gully fieldsman.
Thompson bowling to Underwood. And overslips head for 4. Australia, of course, all out on the attack, and with no fieldsmen out deep at all the fieldsmen in the close positions, with the exception of Edwards out in the covers. And that takes Underwood to 19 and brings up the 150, 7 for 151. Now Luckhurst out this morning for 18, and then 2 quick wickets with the score at 40 and then 44 when Edrich and Amos were dismissed. Then a partnership of 48. Thompson to Underwood. A partnership of 48 between Denness and Fletcher ended after lunch, when the score was 92 when Denness was out, and then Fletcher out 2 runs later. Then with no addition to the score, Greg was out, so at one stage England lost 3 for 2. Then they added another 21 runs before Lever was out, and that was the last wicket to fall, and that was 36 runs ago. Facing Thompson. And just past Jenna's outstretched hand, and this will be another 4. Taking Underwood to 23. Third top score. 7 for 155. Underwood now has hit 5 fours in his 23. Thompson bowling to him. And there's another one. Again, just out of the reach of Jenner. Underwood doing his utmost to force Ian Chappell to move some fieldsmen away from the close positions. Score 7 for 159. Underwood 27, now equal top score with Dines. Underwood, of course, was out for 25 in the first innings, and he batted for 77 minutes. Notice now a deeper gully being placed, which is Wally Edwards. Thompson bowling to Underwood. And hit through mid-off. Ross Edwards chasing, batsman turning for 2. They'll get 2. Underwood now top score, 29. 7 for 161 at the end of Thompson's over, not 19. Underwood 29, 17 sundries, 7 for 161. So it's partnership worth 46 runs so far. Jenner to Underwood. This has gone high in the air. Walker getting under it. And caught by Walker. Max Walker taking that catch. And Underwood out. Caught Walker. Bowled Jenner for 30. 3-0. Underwood caught Walker. Bowled Jenner 30. England now 8 for 162. With not 19 not out. And Jenner now has 2 for 43. Thompson to Knott. Bowled, played on. Knott. Bowled Thompson, 19. England 9 for 163. Knott bowled Thompson, 19. 9 for 163. Willis not out 1. Last batsman to come in is Hendrick, and Thompson has 5 for 46. Willis might get 2 here, being chased by Walters from deep back with square leg. The batsman going back for 2. Taking Willis to 3. And the score to 9 for 165 at the end of the over. Thompson bowling to Hendrick. Hurt his hand. Thompson bowling to Hendrick. Bowled, it's all over. Australia win by 166 runs. England all out for 166, and Australia win outright by 166 runs.